The field awaits, and so do we. Welcome to the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour in race 11 of 28 from Darlington Raceway, also known as the Lady in Black, and the track that is too tough to tame. From the wonderful track in southern South Carolina, that's a bit of a tongue twister, we have a 42-car field for the running of the Southern 500, and my goodness, I could not be more excited. In our first official throwback race, we are having a field of over 30 to 35 cars that are running throwbacks this year for this event. We had one last year, and I'm not kidding about that. We had one throwback last year. The 60 ran a Ray Evernham, I believe, throwback because he was a Dodge, and Ray Evernham, with their team, they always ran Dodges. But you get my point. We had one throwback last year, and look at this field. It's absolutely beautiful, filled with throwback schemes. We're going to go row by row telling you who's throwing back to what, and we'll go from there. Starting in row 1, we do have Creed Daniel and Riley Wedge. Both of these guys are not having their first rodeo on the front row. Riley Wedge has started at least once on the front row this year. I believe he started on the front row at Kansas? Don't quote me on that. And then Creed Daniel, who won that race at Kansas, he's had 2 poles this season and at least 4 appearances on the front row. Regardless, Creed Daniel throwing back to the 2008 Jamie McMurray car during the COT era with Roush Racing. He's a devout Jamie McMurray fan. He loves what he does. I'm sure he was excited to see him finish in the top 10 at the Daytona 500 this year. And then to his outside is Riley Wedge, who's throwing back to the number 85. Or excuse me, not the 85. He threw back to the number 42 when Juan Pablo Montoya ran for that Juicy Fruit sponsor. I believe that was the Spring Talladega race of 09. That race where Carl Edwards got sent into the catch fence by Brad Keselowski. Row 2 does not have any throwbacks. Due to a technical difficulty, we could not get the double zeros throwback in. The 19 did not opt to have a throwback. In row 3, we have Carlos Rex to the inside, who's running a 1986 Richard Petty throwback scheme, and then to his outside is Zachary Jones. Now, here's the discrepancy with Zachary Jones. It was supposed to be Ryan Adema, but due to unforeseen circumstances, Ryan Adema has taken a personal leave of absence. He'll be back hopefully in a few weeks, if not a month. But he was supposed to throw back to his father and his 1999 modified scheme, which he used to run at Florida short track before he got into sprint cars in 2002. Well, now it's Zachary Jones throwing back to a modified driver he's never met. So it is a little bit weird, but we're still running that throwback scheme for the 92 to keep Adema in mind while he takes his personal leave of absence. In row 4, we have Darian Arsdorf to the inside. He's throwing back to Mark Martin from 2002 when he drove the Viagra car, also sponsored by Pfizer, which I believe is one of those major companies for the COVID vaccine. But I just thought I would point that out. But it's a nice throwback scheme. It's kind of weird seeing this kind of number sort of scheme for that 98, but you know what? I like it. I like the concept. And then to his outside is Sarah Fang, who did not have a throwback. In row 5, we have Jacob Thibodeau throwing back to 1996 with Joe Nemechek with Nemco Motorsports in the Fire Alarm System Chevrolet. And then to his outside is 1993 Ward Burton when he drove the number 31 Chevy with Hardee's Fresh Fried Chicken on board. Ward Burton was just starting out before he got his fame with Bill Davis Racing, with almost 10 years before he got his Daytona 500. That's what Christian Coppola is throwing back to. In row 7, we have Matthew Green, who is throwing back to Tony Stewart's Bristol night race car, or the fall race at Bristol in 2002, when they ran a Peanuts sort of, Charlie Brown inspired scheme with Snoopy on it and all that. It's pretty cool. I think it was like inspired by Halloween or something. But yeah, that's what Matthew Green is throwing back to, and Kyle Driscoll does not have a throwback. Row 8, we don't have any throwbacks here. Nelson Reeves and Patrick Starr. Row 9, on the inside is JJU throwing back to 1988 with Ricky Rudd. Jeff Bodine and Ricky Rudd did technically drive the same car, but I'm being told that it's supposed to represent Ricky Rudd and not Jeff Bodine. But anyways, it's a Ricky Rudd throwback. HendrickCars.com Chevrolet, originally sponsored by Levi Garrett, but that's a really nice throwback. And then to his outside is Chris Lattimore, who's throwing back to a 2018 William Byron Xfinity car. Then back in row 9, we have O'Malley Fleming in the number 7, who's throwing back to a 2009 Robbie Gordon scheme in the Menards Chevrolet for his own team, Robbie Gordon Motorsports. And then for the outside row there is Daniel Rivera, who is running the number 20 Home Depot Camry, which was originally run by Tony Stewart in the year 2000 for Joe Gibbs Racing. In row 10, we have Jackson Snyder on the inside, who is running a throwback to Michael McDowell from 2015, sponsored by K-Love, and also sponsored by his own Discord server called NASCord. So make sure to check that out. I don't have a link for it or anything, but make sure you check that out. And then to the outside, we have the 13 of Donna Wilkins, who is not running a throwback. Row 11. Was that row 11? I believe so. Yes, row 11. That would be Nolo Hamilton in the number... I almost said the number 11. This is not a good day for me. But in the number 33, he is throwing back to 1992 with Harry Gant with the Skull Bandit Chevrolet. He had a great season, was in a running for the championship, was a little bit of a long shot when we went to Atlanta in 92, but just didn't get it, although Alan Quickie, a big underdog that season, won the championship. And to his outside is Wirral Daltrip, who's running the number 99 Ford, throwing back to basically brand new in the number 99. She's throwing back to Ryan Blaney's 2021 Atlanta win, which was literally basically less than a month ago. So I don't know what to say. Is it a throwback? Maybe. I don't know. Row 12 is Jesse Owens Jr. throwing back to Juan Pablo Montoya's 2007 Big Red car, which he ran at Watkins Glen and a few other road courses, and I believe also when he ran the Brickyard 400 for Chip Ganassi Racing, that Big Red. Wasn't a Dodge, but still pretty cool. And then to his outside, Alex Pollock, who's also running a UPS car, not to be confused with the 13, but he's throwing back to his 2003 paint scheme. Then in row 14, we have Luis Aguilar, who's throwing back to Bobby Hamilton's 2001 Square D car, which he ran in the 2001 Daytona 500 and a few other races throughout the season. And then to his outside is Leland Hill, who is running the 1999 Jeremy Mayfield throwback when he was running for Penske. In row 15, we have Hunter Walker, who is sponsored by Mobil 1. He is running a throwback to the 2011 Tony Stewart scheme, which was actually what he won his third and final championship in. And then to his outside is Callan Fleming, who's throwing back to 1998, 1988. That third time's the charm. There we go. With Bobby Hillen Jr. with the Miller High Life. So it's not Bobby Allison. Don't get it confused. Row 16 to his inside is Sam Joseph, who is running the Kodak Max Film Chevrolet, throwing back to Sterling Marlin from 1996. And then to his outside is Doug Doring, who is throwing back to Michael Waltrip's Country Time Pontiac from 1986. And then in row 17, we have Charlotte Kelly, who is not having an official throwback scheme, again, due to the technical difficulties. We were not able to get her wrap on the car in time. Then to her outside is Armin Salvador, who is running a Jimmy Means throwback from 1991. In the next row, we have Ronnie Martin, who is throwing back to a 1982 Cale Yarborough car. Yes, that is a Cutlass. He's running this for one race only. If he wins this race, though, he will be scored as a Dodge when he wins, because Cutlass is not an official manufacturer supported by the MSCCT. So he's running this unofficially, but he will not be docked any points or anything. We just were not notified that he was making the switch. To his outside is Caden Robitaille, who is running number 22 Die Mountain Dew Camry, throwing back to 2012 with Dale Jr.'s scheme. I know it's not the only Dale Jr. scheme we were supposed to see in the field today, but Caden Robitaille looking really good with that 22 Camry. Next up is Adeline Galvin, who is sporting the number 94 Texaco Chevy. This is not a throwback, but to her outside is Logan Williams, who is running the number 77 Circle K Camry, who is throwing back to Matt Kenseth when he won his last career NASCAR race at Phoenix in 2017, in his, I believe, his last full-time season before Kyle Larson did the you-know-what, and he came back in 2020. In row 19, it is two cars without a throwback, Felipe Ford and Dakota Bennett. In row 20, we have Nate Relham, who's not running a throwback, and Brandon Allen, who is running a throwback, flashing back to 1991 with J.D. McDuffie in that number 70. And then in the last row, Santiago Alvarez throwing back to a 2013 Greg Biffle car in the Cup Series, one of his last good years. And then in the 62, we have Brennan Wilmington, who's throwing back to a Travis Quapple truck from 2003 in the Craftsman Truck Series. So you've seen all 42 throwbacks for the Southern 500 here at the MSCCT. So what is next? What is to come? Well, we'll figure it out right now, right here. We have 83 laps of great racing, hopefully great racing, from the Lady in Black and the track that is just too tough to tame. Let's get this thing started since I sped us up to about 60 seconds before we were about to get underway. But I gotta say, last year we ran one throwback scheme. I was telling people, hey, you might want to paint a throwback for yourself. It might be cool. It might be something quirky. We got one person to do a throwback, and it was my own teammate at the time. So did it make me feel a little let down? Yeah, but I'm glad that we came out in full force tonight, and we're able to get almost, I'd say, maybe 30 to 34, maybe 35 if we're lucky, throwbacks in this field. With Creed Daniel starting on pole and Riley Wedge to his outside, I cannot wait. It's 83 laps of racing here from Darlington. We already gave you the starting lineup, so we're not going to go through it again when the pace car takes the field. But it's 83 laps. We're probably going to see a few early cautions. In practice, there was actually 3 practice crashes. This did not affect who went to the rear of the field, because practice crashes, if you have to go to the backup car.
Drivers, start your engines! Alright boys, just like we talked about in the meeting, what's going to pay off for us today is patience and consistency. Good smooth racing on the racetrack, and that's what will take us up to the front. We'll be there at the end of this thing.
I'm sorry, I kind of got cut off there, but practice crashes in the MSCCT do not send you to the rear of the field. Qualifying crashes, for obvious reasons, do. But remember, qualifying is in between the first and second practice. So you kind of got a weird situation there where it's, you got, you got to crash your car before qualifying, and then you come back. And this is wonky. That entry onto the track, I was looking at it before when they were entering onto the track. It is the weirdest thing ever. But how about this for a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of history? Not just in this league, but overall. You're looking at some of the greatest drivers to ever compete in NASCAR being represented in the MSCCT. The pace car pulls off. It's Creed Daniel, Riley Wedge, Dan Wilkins, Chase Buck, and Carlos Rex starting off in the top 5. From Darlington Raceway, we are almost there, and we are green from the Southern 500. Something definitely happened. Oh, Alex Pollock blew up. That is what happened. I mean, he was... Oh, wow, he blew up before they got to turn 1. So that's why the field was kind of split in two. As you can see, they're all kind of running single file as we go back. But, I mean, they're running some two-wide racing here. It's looking pretty good. But then you have the... looks like, it is a little bit of a gap here. But, I mean, they're basically running single file, and then you have all the way back in 35th, Nate Rellum. I mean, Pollock was kind of starting near the back, but I wasn't expecting that to happen on the first lap. I don't know why I didn't see that. My apologies, sincerely, but here they come off of turn 4. The 3 big ones have really started to pull away. Remember, all 3 of these guys have at least one win this season, and in fact, all 3 of them have exactly one win. Creed Daniel won at Kansas for his 2nd career win, and you know what? Creed Daniel also won last year here at Darlington for his 1st career win. He led over 95% of the laps, with the only other guy to lead any laps in that race. That's the 4th place car of Darian Arnsdorf. So whoever has a chip on their shoulder at Darlington, it is showing today, as Caden Robitaille is on pit lane in the 22 car. He's getting service along with the 67 of Chris Lattimore. Already early troubles for a lot of these drivers. I mean, it's not like Robitaille or Lattimore were 100% expected to contend, as Dan Wilkins has just dropped off the track. He is going to pit lane. or at least I thought, he dropped all the way to the bottom of the track, and now I assume is having mechanical issues or something. That's worrying for the number 00. He just won last week at Texas for his 4th career win, and now he's hobbling around the inside at a steady 85 miles an hour. And now this gives a huge lead to Creed Daniel. And now there's a yellow on the racetrack. There's a spin, a big spin. It's a huge crash in turn 3. Chris Lattimore, Leland Hill, Ronnie Martin, Callan Fleming, Dakota Bennett, Brandon Allen, Kyle Driscoll, Donna Wilkins, all of them involved. And the yellow is out, and that might actually be a break for Dan Wilkins since he might stay on the lead lap, although he's got to get through this carnage of a wreck. That is unusual. And since we've had a replay... Oh no, he just blew up on pit lane. That's why he's had problems. Everybody's coming in behind him, and he just blew up on pit lane. He didn't even get to his own pit stall. He's all the way near the front since he started 3rd. So now everybody's coming down pit lane. Now, while we do this, I'm going to save the portion of the race that we're at because I've had issues in the past with the game crashing while under replay. So what we're going to do to stay safe is we're just going to save it while we're there. It usually happens with the first caution. So there's Caden Robitaille, who's currently a lap down. Chris Lattimore is 2 laps down. While we're at it, though, let's take a look at what happened since... Oh, there's Chris Lattimore. I don't know how we can even see out of that thing. He was 2 laps down, and then just a few laps later, completely wrecked. Somebody else is blowing up as well in the back. That's Leland Hill. Oh, boy. So, yeah, I mean, he was kind of... Was this... I feel like I know what this is an issue of. I feel like this was an issue of him readjusting back up onto the track and causing a circus. Let's see. He comes back up onto the track. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So, let's take it from the bird's eye view and see what took place here. So, he came back up on the track, made contact with the 13, that's his own teammate, and then got forced into the wall. Leland Hill got in that one. Looks like did Armin Salvador and Doug Doring make it through? They did, because they all just kind of kept up on the high line, and then Adeline Galvin almost made contact. Here comes the 8 of Callan Fleming, right into the rear of the 54. 80 got turned around. 77 got a little damage. 62 as well. 84 Bennett comes sliding in. 8 car gets on her side. And the 70, her own teammate, Brandon Allen, gets a lot of nose damage as well. But that looks like that seems to be what we got for you right there. Let's take a look from the number 67 of Chris Lattimore, as he has had a wild ride from going 2 laps down to readjusting back up onto the track and causing a mess. This is what he sees. Told you that would happen. Told you that would happen. Yup. Uh-huh. That's why we save it. It always happens on the first caution because this game doesn't know how to actually function. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the game to crash because it's an 18-year-old circus that doesn't know how to actually function anymore, which is probably why we should move to iRacing, as now all my extra apps are crashing. This is going to be cut out of the YouTube video, by the way, but you folks on Discord get to hear my ranting. Oh my god, I love this game. Why did I ever do this? Okay, let's check Discord while we're at it, since... Oh boy, I love my job. Okay, now open. I double-clicked you, you should open. Don't open twice or I'm just going to bang my head against a wall. Dun 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 dun. Open! Come on! This is stupid. So stupid. Like, is it my computer having a hairball? Like, is it my old cat throwing up a hairball? It's just having a stroke. It's like on the blue pinwheel. God, I hate this game. Get open now. Please just... Thank you for the love of the fucking God. God damn it. Come on, you. Stop acting like an old man on his deathbed. Did I open them twice? I opened the game twice. Oh, I hate this. Alright, now work. Oh my God, okay, thank you. Please resume the saved race? Like, yes? Possibly? Please, just... Lord, tell me. Please, no. First of all, why are you not working? I can hear the fans. Why can I not... Why can I not... Oh, you have to be kidding me.
Drivers, to your cars.
It was right there. It was right there. I pressed save. Why didn't you save at the right spot? You saved at the start of the race. Not... Oh my God. Okay, we're going to 6 laps. I don't care who wrecks. I don't care what happens. We're going to 6 laps and we're acting like none of this happens because this game is the worst I've ever seen. And this needs to... I hate this game. This is terrible. At least Lattimore's still out. Although now Creed Daniels down. He's the pole sitter. How do I explain that on the recording? I don't. So now we just have to make sure that at least something happens that's similar to what happens. And just... You know, I'm going to be the magical fairy, and I'm going to poof everything into existence. And I'm going to make sure that everything is fine. I'm going to make sure that we're all fine. Because that's what happens here. Alright, we're on lap 6. Where are you? Are you there? Oh my God. It didn't do this. It didn't do the double file restarts because I forgot to open the apps because I'm an idiot. I'm a goddamn idiot. Okay, well apparently Retire AI was still open, so I'm just gonna close that since it's probably gonna decide not to work. fc.exe. I should probably have this stored somewhere, but nope, because I just have everything lying around my computer. Come on, computer. There you go. There you go. You have to be the stupid old man. bc.exe. Okay. La 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 la. Yes. Because Windows thinks that opening a Better Cautions exe is going to just kill my computer like I'm trying to give it a death wish. But no, because Windows doesn't know what it's doing, and they're trying to protect their customers because nobody who uses Windows knows how to actually use a computer. That's why people who actually know how to use a computer use Mac. Although I probably don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to get screamed at for it since all of you are going to hear me during this rant, but just keep in mind, this is how I talk to myself when I am angry, so just shut it. Retire 1 exe. Yes, you're the right one. Yes, Windows, I know I am allowing this to make changes to my device. Oh my God, can you stop being such a terrible operating system? Okay, we have that taken care of. Now, open game, and please don't take 90 seconds to open. There you go. Bum, 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 bum. I swear, if I hear that intro one more time, I'm gonna just scream. Why did we ever... It's not even the track. It does it with every track. Did it with Texas. Did it with Iowa. Did it with Kansas. I should just never do replays. You know what? Just never do replays. Doesn't crash when I don't do replays. I always press... It's the hood cam that's buggy. It's probably the hood cam on the Makes 19 mod. Since I don't have problems with any other mods, I should probably just do it on my laptop and have a slideshow. Yeah, resume saved race even though you didn't save... You know what. Didn't save shit. You didn't save anything because you were supposed to save it at the time that I saved it, not at the start of the race like an actual idiot. Alright, come on. Come on. Come on. I can hear the fan. Stop freezing on me. There you go. There you go. You know how to load Darlington Raceway. Congratulations. I'm so proud. Okay. Do this again. Or show the standings. Alright, come on. Come on. La 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 la. Yippee-ki-yay, I am so excited to record for the 6,000th time when I'm late and behind schedule. Yay, this is so fun. Okay, there's a caution out. Who crashed? Basically the same people. Good. Oh, wait. Wait, hold on. I just realized something. I can use retire AI to get out the people that I want out. Okay. Accident. Let's go. Okay, open you. Okay. Where's accident? Here's accident. Where's the 67? Is the 70 out? Okay, 70's still in. Okay, 67, you're out. OUT out. Who else needed to be out? I'm thinking here. 13 probably needed to be out. Where's the 13? 13 still on the track. She'll be out. 8 needs to be out. 29 needed to be out. Wait, no, double file restarts. Oh my god, I forgot to click on that. Such an idiot. Can't do anything right in this. Alan can stay, I guess. Yeah, this is fine. No, you need to be out with a piston problem. You need to be out with... Where's piston? Engine piston. Here we go. Okay. So if we sim one lap, hopefully we'll get something. Are you just not going to go to pit lane? Okay. That's just great. That's just great. Yeah. Alright, folks, we apologize for the confusion. We had a few technical difficulties. If you were on the Discord, you just heard me ramble on in a rant for about 8 minutes. If you're on YouTube, welcome back to the broadcast. We're on lap 7 of 83. Alex Pollock is not supposed to be in the race, so he will pull off as quickly as possible. Because of our technical difficulties, I had to reset the field. But because of the crash earlier and trying to maintain things to as realistic as they can be, we essentially just used a retire AI EXE to put him out of the race. So he may be second for now, but he will not stay in that position. Just make it be known, he will not be in that position when we go green. So hopefully this works. Hopefully the EXE doesn't bug out on me. But the top 5 unofficially is Aguilar, Salvador, Creed, Wedge, and Rex. So on lap 8 of 83 from the Southern 500, my very disgruntled self is going to send us back to green. Yeah, I think the 88's going to pull off here. And some other people are pulling off, including the pole sitter Creed Daniel, but that's not who we wanted to pull off, but okay. That's not good. The two pole sitters just pulled off, and the 88 is not. Like, are we waiting for Thanksgiving, bud? They're all single file, so it's Aguilar. Are you gonna... Anytime this year, Alex. Anytime this year. Like, do I just DQ him or what? Oh, they're spinning. It's Matthew Green in the 05. He hit the inside wall, but somehow we stay green. That's not what you wanted to see if you're Matthew Green. He got absolutely dumped by the 05. Or, excuse me, by the 5 of JJU. Let's talk about what a save. He plows the inside wall. He's avoiding somebody up high. He gets turned. I wonder if this will work. Let's see. Let's try it again. It works. Gets turned into the wall. Saves it. Well, he's going down pit lane now, and now Alex Pollock has taken the lead for some unforsaken reason. So I think at this point I'm just gonna DQ. Here we go. And now the yellow is out for an unrelated incident in turn 3. Santiago Alvarez just plowed in there. Several cars involved in a bad crash. Yellow is out. Oh, this started on the backstretch. Looks like Chris Lattimore, got into the back of Doug Doering, gets turned. Nate Rellum gets hit. World Ultra gets through. But you know who doesn't get through? Brennan Wilmington, and looks like Sarah Fang does get through. And then Santiago Alvarez, basically a helpless horse here, slamming into the side, the door of the number 95. Creed does get through in the 38th spot, but wow. Well, we're going to try to make this work with the number 67 again of Chris Lattimore. We're going to try to look from his view since he's technically been wrecked twice now. He's supposed to be out of the race, but the retire AI doesn't work. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I hate this game. I absolutely hate this game. You're going to be back off the air with me. Oh my gosh. Anybody have any recommendations for what game we should switch to, since I'm seriously considering just ditching this game and never playing NR 2003 again, because I absolutely hate this. Come on. Take your sweet little time to open like you're a grandma crossing the street on oncoming traffic. Come on. La 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 la. Come on. You know, we're just not going to do replays. You see it crash once, boom, we're done. We might do replays in the air, but the roof camera doesn't work. The roof camera does not work, folks, unless we're in a moving motion. So, you know what? We're not getting any of that. Hopefully this still works. I'd hope so. Yeah, it looks like it still works, in a way. I mean, if it doesn't work, I won't be surprised, since it hasn't been working. The entire game has not decided to function anymore. So if anyone knows how to fix this problem of the hood camera just completely wrecking the game when you go to a replay, I'd sure like to know, because it's extremely causing me to just drop this game, drop everything, and like go to iRacing or something and blow out my wallet. Because it's bringing me to my limit. Come on. Come on now. Here, buddy. Here, buddy. Come on. I'll give you a treat if you load. Thank you.
Drivers, to your cars.
Yeah, I know, drivers to your cars. I hate that voice, too. It's so annoying. Because you never actually hear drivers to your cars at the track. You know why? Because the drivers know when to get to their cars, because they don't need an announcement from the public speaker address to know that they have to get to their cars. This is not a sprint car race. Alright, who wrecked? And that's stupid. That's so stupid. I'm just not going to retire anybody anymore and just tell them, hey, system's broken. Do it on your own. Might be too lazy to edit this YouTube video, and I might just end up going that way. Hey, look, the 7 is out, but is the 67 out? No, he's in 15th. That's just great. Great to explain that to the broadcast, although most of the viewers of MSCCT videos are, oh my gosh, modern double fault. Yep, better cautions didn't work. Alright, you know what? You know what's a real throwback? Having the leader start on the outside lane. So you know what? That's really an aspect of Darlington with the throwback race. Not caring. Alright, thank you for throwing a yellow. Thank you. I don't even know if the Better Cautions EXE will work, so if I even try to throw a yellow, it might not work. Oh, geez, bunch of cars out. Kelly, Owens. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that took out half the field. I gotta start over. Alright, well now you wait with me. Dun 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 dun. Will you throw a caution if I prompt you to? Oh, no, yeah, you won't throw a caution. Okay. That's just great. That is just absolutely splendid. I love it. Absolutely love it. Oh, now there's just a random yellow. Okay. Oh, because... Oh, yay! The 67 wrecked. That's good. That means that we get to go at least somewhat back to normal. I just explained. Oh, yeah, the 8 car went on her side. But, yeah, she stays in the race. The 16 doesn't have any hood and slammed into the guy at 140 miles per hour. But you know what? He gets to stay in. And guess what? He gets his hood back and all of his damage is magically repaired. Isn't that just lovely? Let's just go to the lap where they go green. Oh, Sarah Fang isn't the leader. I forgot because the game doesn't know how to function properly. Even though I use 3 EXEs to enhance it, we don't get to actually use that function because this game doesn't know how to work. We are back from Darlington on lap 14 of 83. We're going to go green this time by. We had more technical difficulties. So we've made the following changes completely out of the blue. Unless you're from the Discord server, then you know exactly what happened. So we are no longer going to use the roof camera when we're viewing replays, and we are also just not going to look at replays unless it's from the helicopter camera, since that's the only way we can reliably view replays without the game completely imploding on itself and crashing on this old computer. So I hope you're okay with that. If you're not, then I don't understand what you're actually expecting. Top 5 is Daniel, Rex, I almost said Adama, Zachary Jones, Coppola, and Green. Speaking of green, we are under green on lap 15 of 83. Speaking of throwbacks, you might have noticed we're throwing back the actual restart function because now the lapped cars are lining up on the inside, and now, if you're a fan, you can't tell who's on the lead lap or who's not anymore because that's just great. As you can tell, I'm not frustrated at all with this game. But like I was saying, Creed Daniel almost led every single lap at Darlington. Oh, he almost hooked the 93. The 93 is in 33rd, and just got her lap back. And she almost got hooked by the 65. I mean, the 01 isn't on the lead lap either. She's in 34th, as Creed Daniel might peek to the inside here. But my point is, he won Darlington last year. Who says he can't win it again? This just might be his great track. Dan Wilkins is great at Daytona. Chase Buck is great at Atlanta. Creed Daniel just might be great at Darlington. That might be his track. Now, 2 lapped cars are blocking... In fact, 4 lapped cars are blocking the leaders from getting anything done. Now, Dan Wilkins will move in the 3rd, and Matthew Green will move in the 2nd. He had a great run at Watkins Glen, but that's really the best run I can even think of during the early parts of this season, although he got wrecked out late, which caused him to finish, I believe, 30th or somewhere around that area in the points. So, but you know, honestly, with a track like Watkins Glen, remember, it was 17 degrees in upstate New York in middle of February. It was snowing. There was about 6 inches, maybe a foot of snow on the ground. You can't blame it for being a weird race. And right now, in 4th, is Carlos Rex, who won that race at Watkins Glen. Throwing back to Richard Petty, of course. It's now Callan Fleming finally getting out of the way for the first time since 1988, when she's throwing back to that Bobby Hillin Jr. scheme. Although she's going to lose... Oh, she just hit the wall. And now they're wrecking. I just heard something. Uh-oh. Oh, no. We got a big parking lot on the back. Adeline Galvin, Daniel Rivera. Yo! Oh, Daniel Bennett. Dakota Bennett on his side. Big hits. Yellow is out. Creed Daniel leads. At least the top 4 get past the lead, the lap cars. I felt like that guy had nowhere, had nowhere to go. Wow. I'm going to take a look here back at what happened. This was a scary wreck. So we'll go up to the front. Who caused this? Was it the 93? I think it was the 93. Yep, Sarah Fang hit the wall. Look at this. Scott turned. Sam Joseph got in it. Nelson Reeves. Almost Chase Buck. Almost Nolo Hamilton. Daniel Rivera got like the worst of it. Oh, Leland Hill, Jackson Snyder. There's Daniel, Darian Arnsdorf. There's Adeline Galvin. JJU barely got through it. And then the 84 of Dakota Bennett. Got hit really hard by the 23 of Hunter Walker. This is going to take out at least 5-6 cars. There's Luis Aguilar, Adeline Galvin. So many good cars torn up today. Boy, oh boy, that is not what you want to see. It looks like 93 got a little bit of damage as well, but Ronnie Martin did get through it. And the 08 of Patrick Starr also got involved. 65 of Creed Daniel leaves pit lane first. Carlos Rex second. Riley Wedge having some problems on pit lane. He is going to be back there. It'll be Dan Wilkins in third. Although, why did Carlos Rex overtake Creed Daniel? That's weird. Although, did some guys stay out? No, I apologize. These are 3 lead lap cars that could not pit on the first time around. Since lead lap cars pit the first time, lapped cars pit on the second time around. That would be Charlotte Kelly, Callan Fleming, and Kyle Driscoll. Creed Daniel did eventually take back the position from Carlos Rex. I just think he went a little too fast on that apron. So Dan Wilkins third, Matthew Green fourth, Molly Fleming fifth, and then Nolo Hamilton moved up from 14th to 5th. Excuse me, 6th. Then Riley Wedge will be in 7th. Chase Buck would be in 8th. That would move him up 1 spot. Jesse Owens Jr. in 10th. Jesse Owens Jr. in 9th. His teammate, Zachary Jones, in 10th. Santiago Alvarez, a former Dodge. He's just running this one race as a Ford, and then he's switching back to Dodge after that. So, do not worry. 13 of Don Wilkins in 12th. 31 of Christian Coppola in 13th. JJU in 14th, and Alex Pollock in 15th. Who was supposed to be out of the race, but again, due to technical difficulties, wouldn't go. I know this is the loudest silence you've heard in a while, but I don't really know what to say because I've gone through everything I can think of. Speaking of everything I can think of, I did want to address that I said some things that were kind of controversial during a Texas recording. I know I said something about the military and elections, Dwight D. Eisenhower, all that. And I know some people were upset with what I said. Which I understand why people would be upset, because I'm supposed to be talking about the racing, not Dwight Eisenhower. And I know especially some people who might have a connection or are involved with the military, they were upset with, what I had said, and, I didn't mean any harm by what I said. I know some people were saying I was trash talking, but no, I was talking about what I believed, and I know that I don't have a big background of knowledge in the military, but I was expressing my opinions, and I know some people misconstrued it, and I do get your point that I probably shouldn't have mentioned that, especially to its length, while I was recording Texas, but I'm gonna be honest, that was a factor of me being extremely bored and just not having anything to talk about, so I went on that tangent. I know a lot of times I go on random tangents and everything like that, but just let it be known that I'm going to at least try my best in the future to cut down on that. So to anybody that I might have offended or whatever by what I said, just know that I'll try to cut down on that, and we'll try to keep it more focused on the racing from here on out. Creed Daniel takes the lead and lets it stay there on lap 24 of 83 here from the Southern 500. Man, those two leaders falling back, and Matthew Green, one of the few lead lap cars that isn't obstructed by the wall of lapped cars that don't know how to move because they don't know how to drive. Matthew Green's actually going to make a pass. He started this restart 4th. He's going to be in 2nd by the time we cross the start-finish line. Even Molly Fleming's looking to move up a little bit. See, the roof camera works just fine when you're actually in motion. There's Kyle Driscoll in 24th. Right now, 23 cars are on the lead lap all the way from the 65 of Creed Daniel to the 27 of Felipe Ford. Kyle Driscoll, Charlotte Kelly, and Callan Fleming are both 2 laps down, but the cars out of the race include Darian Arnsdorf, Patrick Starr, Daniel Rivera, Jackson Snyder, Adeline Galvin, Logan Williams, Dakota Bennett, Luis Aguilar, Hunter Walker, Sarah Fang, Brandon Allen, Brendan Wilmington, Chris Lattimore, Doug Doring, Armin Salvador, and Nate Rellum. Nate Rellum with his second last place finish of the year, both with accident DNFs. Callan Fleming trying to pass Charlotte Kelly here, although Matthew Green I thought was going to go lower than that and try to make it 3 wide on the tightest part of the racetrack. Remember, this is like an egg-shaped oval. Turns 1 and 2 are a lot wider in length than turns... Oh, look at that. Charlotte Kelly got in the wall. Now Callan Fleming might be able to be overtaken by the 05. I'm sure she wouldn't mind since he's already 2 laps down. Now even Carlos Rex stuck on the high side, getting past there. There's Riley Wedge in 7th, trying to make the most of it. Yeah, 14 really falling back. Just allowed the 33 to pass him, and just now the 92, the 16, almost everybody. He is really far out there. Although Matthew Green is closing in, he's only got 2 lapped cars to pass before he gets to the 65. That last lap he led by 0.56, and that just reduced to under 0.4 of a second. Only Kyle Driscoll and Callan Fleming stand in between Matthew Green and Creed Daniel at this time. Uh-oh. Creed Daniel got in the wall, and now he blocks the 05 going into 3, although that just took care of the lapped car situation. Since now both Creed Daniel and Matthew Green are 1 and 2, and they are right next to each other. Danny Wilkins back in 3rd, having to take care of his former teammate, Callan Fleming, who used to drive the 46, then moved to the 44, but didn't run a race. And then moved to the number 8 car. Won her first race at Talladega. I don't know if... I don't want to call it a fluke yet or not, because I kind of called the first career win for Ryan Adema. I didn't, call it a fluke, but I wasn't expecting it. And now Matthew Green will overtake Creed Daniel. And in fact, Dan Wilkins will do the same. It's a new leader on lap 31. Hallelujah! It's Matthew Green looking for his first career win. But not too far behind. It's the 0-0 of Dan Wilkins, who won at Texas just last week. You know, Daniel Rivera's got 2 wins this year. He's the only driver with 2 wins. He won at Iowa in an extremely controversial finish. 10 green-white checkers, and then we didn't even have an official winner until 20 minutes after the checkered flag flew because it was under review. And then now he won the flag at Riverside 2 races ago. And now Dan Wilkins looks like he might be in the spot to get his second win of the year, although I don't think we've ever had a driver that's won 2 in a row. Technically, you could say Sarah Fang because she won the All-Star Open and then won the first race of the second half for her first career points-paying win, which was at Phoenix. But I wouldn't really count that because the 2 leaders just hit the wall. There's smoke on the backstretch, but I'm not sure for what. It might be for Molly Fleming. I don't know. She's running 23rd, although she had some issues before, so I don't know. But Matthew Green and Dan Wilkins... now there's a caution. Oh, this is what happened. Whoa! Felipe Ford and Molly... Speaking of Molly Fleming, she just destroyed her race car. Oh, boy. Yikes. That is not good. Let's take a look at the helicopter-only replay. Since they were running near the back of the pack, this is why I didn't see it. Werrell Daltrip, Sam Joseph. Werrell Daltrip, Sam Joseph, good friends. Let's take a look. Joseph hit the wall, and then 3 cars hooked each other. Daltrip, hard hit by Sam Joseph. Thibodeau gets out of it just fine. He keeps going on. And then here comes Caden Robitaille to the front. Oh, man. Leland Hill got in that one. Felipe Ford as well. And then here comes Molly Fleming out of nowhere, trying to slow down. She was at 185, trying to slam on the brakes. Brakes, hits the 07 and the 22. That's a double whammy. She's definitely going to be out of the race after that one, so. Oh, boy. The 0-0 just got turned going into his pit stall. 65 gave him a bit of a shove there. See who wins the race off pit road. There's a Riley Wedge with a little bit of damage. I wonder if the 0-0 is going to win the race off pit road. it will be the 00. And in second, an unlikely competitor, Santiago Alvarez just gained 12 spots from, what is that, 13th to 2nd. And Chase Buck had a similar fate. He gained, well, he gained 1 spot. I'm sorry, I thought he was further back. But Matthew Green, who was the leader at the time of caution, lost 4 spots, and now he's in 4th after being the leader. So Dan Wilkins goes from 2nd to 1st. He is the new leader. And Zachary Jones in 9th right now, although once the new lap registers, that might change, because that was his position at the time of yellow. And he actually did move up 1 spot, so he's in 8th. But think about this. He was a truck driver who raced the first 2 events at Talladega and Kansas, and now he just got boosted up to a cup ride because he got turned into a replacement driver for Ryan Adema, who's currently, as we said before multiple times on the broadcast, he is taking a personal leave of absence. We wish him the best for that time. I'm aware of what's going on, but not going to comment on it on the broadcast. But with Jones, it's like, I don't know, it's a combination of 2 things. It's the fact that he's an experienced driver who knows what he's doing, and it also helps that he's in the 92 ARE equipment. The 92 is one of the best cars out there. It's a classic. Should just make die-casts out of it. It's amazing. So when you put a different driver in there, it's like if you put Quinn Houff in the number 48 Chevy for Hendrick Motorsports, or for that matter, you put him in the 18 car for Joe Gibbs Racing. It might be Kyle Busch being being more talented than Quinn Houff, but Quinn Houff's still going to have decent positions because he's in that equipment. He might be an idiot of a driver, but still, you get my point. So Dan Wilkins, after a good pit stop, takes first, and Santiago Alvarez, after an even better pit stop, gains 12 positions for the 2nd spot. Chase Buck is in 3rd. Matthew Green is in 4th. You have Carlos Rex in 5th. Carlos Coppola in 6th. Creed Daniel in 7th. Zachary Jones in 8th. JJU in 9th. And Donna Wilkins in 10th. Callum Fleming, Kyle Driscoll, and Charlotte Kelly all lining up on the inside. Following that wreck, the cars that retired from the race, oh boy, that's Fleming, Joseph, Daltrip, Robitaille, and Hill. 5 cars retired. Now only 17 cars remain on the lead lap, and only 20 are on the racetrack. Here we go. Dan Wilkins, Alvarez, Buck, Green, and Rex. We take the green flag on lap 38. Well, that was quick for half the field to disappear. Oh, he's going to get that big advantage there with the lap cars kind of holding up the rest of the field. They're back-to-back, side-by-side as Alvarez and Buck go at it. And even Matthew Green's going to draft off the 01 car and try to get a little bit of extra positioning, since the 16 and the 19 of Alvarez and Buck, they're kind of hung up on the outside line, as now Green and Rex taking the advantage. And even Christian Coppola gaining a few spots as your pole sitter, Creed Daniel, waits in the wings in 7th. And back in the lead right now, it's less than 3/4 of a second that divides the 00 from the 05. And right now, I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be another caution, because I feel like there's been a bunch of cautions early on. Now is this the time where everything mellows down and you turn into a pit strategy race? It turns into somewhat of a long green flag run. You know, we could go green for the rest of this race for all we know. We've had enough cautions to basically say, all right, there's enough cars out where you can basically just let low and not worry about it. As Callum Fleming hits the wall, there's going to be a moment where the leader hits the wall and Kelly and Driscoll might pass him, and then Green might have a better shot at overtaking him. Because Dan Wilkins really, he's only pulling away because the lapped cars are there. He's not pulling away because of his own car himself. There's a few cars off pace as well. I mean, there's 29, 85, they've all got damage. And the 85 just fell off the face of the earth. '05 getting to the inside of the '01 of Charlotte Kelly. Peeked down, didn't get anywhere. So I was extremely wrong again at the Texas race because I had wrongly assumed that Colt... I didn't know that Colt was a gun manufacturer. In all fairness, I didn't know that Colt even existed. And I'm going to be honest, I know nothing about guns. I've never owned a gun. I've never fired a gun. I don't plan on owning a gun in the future. But my point is, I got his sponsor wrong when he ran that car. So, you know what? He's running a different car. I can finally say the car right. The Girls und Panzer Chevrolet. I said it. I also watched the first episode of that show. And I thought it was pretty interesting. I couldn't really understand what they were saying, so I had closed captions on. But I thought it was pretty cool, so I might watch some more. But right now he's running in second with Christian Coppola hot on his tails. I thought they were they wrecking? There was just a whole bunch of smoke. Did the 33 do a little loopsie? He did. How did this not bring out a yellow is beyond me. The 5 hit the wall, and the 33 got caught up in it. They both slid. How did this not bring out a yellow? Oh my. Okay. Hey, adding random variables. That's what you like to see. But yeah, here comes Christian Coppola to the inside of the '05. Of course, Christian Coppola, probably his best moment in this league. I've talked about it time and time again, which it's because I love the race. Season 2, Indianapolis, one of the best pit strategy races. It was right there. 8th race of the season, I think. He was battling with Armin Salvador. Oh my goodness, that was an insane race. Speaking of insane, what in the world's going on here? He's getting hung up on the outside line again. Oh boy. Yeah, he just lost a bunch of spots. Lap 47 of 83. Now Christian Coppola's in second. Creed Daniel is in third. Oh, here comes Creed on the inside. He was trying to make a move, and then... Ah, there he goes. He's going to try to pass the 31 now. I mean, he won this race last year, and he's already running really well. Now he's side by side with the 14 of Coppola's. Zachary Jones runs inside the top 5 in 5th, as there goes Christian Coppola to the back. Matthew Green slowly working his way back up. 1.43 second lead for Dan Wilkins. Kyle Driscoll back in that position. I saw somebody go into pit lane, but I was wrong. And they're all kind of phasing out now. They're not really as close as they used to be, as Charlotte Kelly, again, hung up on the outside. So, I mean, these guys are kind of close. I mean, Green and Coppola are still running side by side. Because Creed Daniel did hit the outside wall. Yeah, he's got some damage there. 1.69 seconds separates the leader from second place, as Carlos Rex makes the pass on Creed Daniel. And, oh, they made contact, the 65 and the 92, as now that's another overtake. Zachary Jones in the 4th. It reminds me of Eli Sasak. He ran his first race at Flemington and then finished second in his first career start. It's not what you always see, but hey, it happens. I like to always joke that Richard Birmingham also won in his first career start, but guess what? That was because it was the first race of the league's history. was Season 1 Daytona. 100 laps at the time. Took over 2 hours to record. It was insane. I mean, there was only one caution, and the race was really boring. And did the yellow just come out? Yellow flag is out on the racetrack. There was a spin. Oh, no. The 85 just got hit on his roof. That is what happened. That is why the yellow came out for obvious reasons. We're going to take a look at this. Oh, my goodness. Yikes. 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 What in the world? Oh, the 87 and 19. Oh, this was... Matthew Green came back up on the track. He was pitting. Nope, he didn't. I lied. Oops. I just saw him come up on the track, and I'm like, But no, that's why I thought he was pitting. But nope, Alvarez just turned him in the inside fence. And then comes back up. 87's got nowhere to go. 19's got nowhere to go. They both get caught up in it. And then here comes the 85 of Riley Wedge. And up the track, hits the 19. And then here comes the 8. Oh, man. Nelson Reeves as well. Nelson hit the 85 while he was on his roof. Jesse Owens Jr. as well got involved in that one. Ronnie Martin got through, although he's already off pace. But wow. Talk about something crazy right there, as now the leaders are on pit lane. Does Wilkins get off first? And the 19 is out, along with the 05, 87, 85, the 8. The 10 is out. You know, last year at Darlington, it was 16 cars that finished the race. This year it might be even less. Because, yeah, you got the cars that are a lap down, but I think only like 11 or 12 cars actually finished on the lead lap in that Season 2 race. There's 5 cars. Or no, there's 2 back here. Yay, 13 in the 80. There's the 88, 65, 01. There you go. Now it's turning into your late model races with 15 cars. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Well, this is good news for Christian Coppola. He's in second right now, and you know, for the guy that's looking for his first career win, that would be a great spot to have it in a race with almost no cars left. You almost, even if you crash at the end, you're not going to have a bad finishing spot. You're going to have a wrecked race car and some hurt feelings, but it's not going to be that bad. As right now, I think we are going to have definitely less than 16 cars, because the 19, 10, 05, 87, and 85, and 8 are all out. And we will go green one time to go around this racetrack before we go green. Lap 56 of 83. We'll go green on lap 57. Since there's so few cars left in this race, there's literally 14 cars left on the track and 12 on the lead lap. Your top 14 are Dan Wilkins, Christian Coppola, Carlos Rex in third, Zachary Jones in fourth, Santiago Alvarez in fifth, Donald Wilkins in sixth, Creed Daniel in seventh, A.J. Pollock in eighth, Jesse Owens Jr. in ninth, Ronnie Martin in 10th, Nolo Hamilton in 11th, JJU in 12th, in 13th, one lap down, Kyle Driscoll, and then 2 laps down in 14th, soon to be 14th, Charlotte Kelly. So there's your entire field, and the 19, 10, 05, 87, 85, 8, 74, 99, 22, 54, 07, 98, 08, 20, 11, 94, 77, 84, 55, 23, 93, 70, 62, 67, 30, and 52 and 95. They are all out. So if you heard your number, you just won the lottery. Lap 57 of 83 from the Southern 500 about to go underway. 14 cars left on track. This is turning into your average sprint car race, folks. From the track that is too tough to be tamed, I guess what? It tamed a lot of folks today. Green flag. Oh, what are you doing? You're bunching up the inside. Why are you going there? You're blocking yourself? What in the world? Looks like the lead lap cars are getting actually ahead of the leaders this time. They usually just sneak in behind the leaders. Now they're basically taking a front seat position instead of a back seat position, because Kyle Driscoll's out front of the leader to 0-0 as Zachary Jones gets to the inside. Man, that would be historic if he was able to win in his first career start. That would be insane for him. Yeah, it's a replacement driver. He's not going to be in Cup the entire season. It's Carlos Rex dropping all the way back. Turn 2 seems to be the spot today for drivers that have major issues. He's going to pass the 80 car. Yeah, Zachary Jones is going to pass. Oh, whoa. Driscoll with issues. He's going to jump to the inside. Low. He just got to the apron. Came back up. That is good news for Dan Wilkins, since that jams up everybody behind him. Yeah, he went down to the apron because he was trying to pass the 0-1 or something. He was trying to avoid the lapped car. Yeah, they're still running in decent packs and tandems. Zachary Jones in second. I just can't believe this. He's not even running his own throwback. He's running the throwback of Ryan Adema, who was supposed to run his father's modified scheme. It's still getting on-track action. It's just, oh, it's in the wall. That was Charlie Kelly who hit the wall. Now this gives Jones a little bit of a clearer path to the 0-0. He's there. He is a lot closer than he would have been if the 0-1 wasn't in the way. I always confuse the 88 with the 13 because they're both UPS Fords. Although this is only for one race, because obviously the 88's going back to his Reen Ford after this is done. Alvarez just hit the wall as well. That turn 2 exit is very weird. Now even the 65 and the 16 are slowly approaching the 1-1. And he hits the wall. The 0-1 hit the wall again, and now she's going to lose a lot of spots. 16 kind of get hung up on the outside line there. This might force a lot of guys to go up high. Uh-oh. See problems? Thought I saw problems. When there's problems, who are you going to call? Not Ghostbusters. You're going to call emergency services. That's so silly. Zachary Jones now on a very tight leash with the 0-0. He was over a second back just a few laps ago, and now he is right on his tail. Chasing him down like a wild dog. Here he comes. Does he go to the inside? Although 65 is now past these lap cars, so is the 13, 14, and 16. It is extremely possible that the 65 catches up to these two cars. Oh, the 0-0 got into the wall, I believe. Wilkins got into the wall, and Zachary Jones is your new leader. He's going to try to get him back, though. Jones has no damage. Wilkins has some. He's got a little bit of a dent on that right front. Also, Creed Daniel made up about 1/10 of a second on that last lap, so that also helps his case. He made up about 1/10 of a second on second place. He didn't make up really that much on the leaders. But that's because Jones now leads by 0.4 seconds. To come to lap 67. He's still kind of pulling away, but not really. Like, he's getting closer to that half-second gap. But I know it's not going to be that new record for longest margin of victory, which was set by Creed Daniel, we mind you, with 9.66 seconds, and then it was broken by Daniel Rivera at Riverside this year with over 11 seconds, 11 and a half seconds separated Daniel Rivera from second place. Jones first, Wilkins second, Creed Daniel first, or Creed Daniel third, excuse me. I gotta say, Zachary Jones is the first driver in MSCCT history to lead laps in his debut. Even Eli Sasak did not lead laps in his MSCCT debut. He just happened to finish second, behind Luis Aguilar, which was his second career win. Aguilar on the board today is going to finish all the way back in 34th. So, not a good start for him, but honestly, he's not that great on these sort of wonky regular ovals. He won his first career race. Think about it. Both of his wins have been at unconventional racetracks. His first win was at Sonoma, which is a road course. Considering NASCAR standards and MSCCT standards, that's not something you get to see every week. And then the next race that he won was at Flemington, which is literally a square short track in the middle of nowhere. We call it East Bumble, New Jersey, because we don't know where the heck it is. Okay, maybe that's not what we call it, but we use a choice word in place of that. The 00 is losing ground. He's now 0.6 of a second back. He was 0.54 back the last lap. That right side damage is definitely affecting him. I honestly think, if I'm being honest with everybody here, it's going to take the 92 to mess up for the 00 to have a chance, because he keeps falling back. The 92 has to make a mistake before the 00 can pounce. And also, if you want to take a look at lap times, the 92's last lap was a 27.778, and for the 00, it was a 27.869. So he's about 1/10 of a second slower, which you might not think, well, it's 1/10 of a second. That makes a big difference, because he's slowly, it's like a balloon slowly losing air in the distance. It doesn't look bad at first, but as you go along, he's losing more and more ground. Like, he's now almost 0.8 of a second back from Jones. Although now, there is lap traffic in play. Not for the next couple of laps. Ronnie Martin, who's running a 29.2 on his laps, he might be something to look out for as we have 10 laps to go. Zachary Jones looking to win in his first career start. Right now, Jones doesn't have the fastest lap, 26.374. I gotta tell you, if he ends up doing well in this race and for the rest of the races that he runs while he's Adam as a replacement driver, I gotta say, he might have a full-time Cup ride next year, because that's just pure talent. Going from trucks to Cup just like that, that's impressive. 9 to go this time. Where is Ronnie Martin in all of this? Well, he is on the backstretch. Again, he's running about 1 second slower than Jones. He just ran a 2.8, I wish I would run a 2.8 second lap. Jones is running a 28.261, and Ronnie right here run a 29.657. Ronnie does have the, where is it? I thought he had a fast lap. No, he's one of the slowest cars all day. He ran a 39th fastest. The gap grows to now over a second between the 00 and the 92. Man, these guys were duking it out at Bristol, and now it's a completely different situation for Dan Wilkins, because he's he's not facing his good friend Adama. He's facing a guy that, he's talked to a little bit in pre-race and all that, but he doesn't know him that well, and that's Zachary Jones. And Zachary Jones has a chance. It's a good chance to win in his first career MSCCT start. That would be historic. Yeah, you can add some caveats where you wish. You're right that it is ARE equipment. You're right that it's the best car in the fleet of these 4 ARE cars. The 92, the 85, the 24, and who's the other ARE car? Sorry, it's 30. You might be right that he's in good equipment. You might be right that, he's made mistakes before. Who says he can't make mistakes again? But Zachary Jones is one of those drivers that, even though he might be down, he does not give up, which is why he did pretty well at Kansas in trucks, even though he got involved in that little, incident with Jackson Snyder. It wasn't a crash, but Jackson Snyder completely had engine issues or whatnot, and he got caught up in it, and he got a little bit of damage as well. So, and also that under caution incident, he was involved in that. He rallied back, he fought back to a top 10 finish. So just think about it in that way, that Zachary Jones is a driver that does not need good equipment to win. He needs talent, and guess what? He has talent. Zachary Jones leads the field with 4 to go. Dan Wilkins not having the best of a late run. He is 1.85 seconds back. I told you that was like high air slowly leaking out. And Ronnie Martin in turns 3 and 4. I hope there isn't a caution, since we don't have the proper mechanism to have a green-white checkered. Although I don't think there will be there will be a caution that makes it necessary, because everybody's all spread out. Where's the 29 again? He just hit the wall. Oh, there was somebody who spun. Somebody definitely spun. Don't know who it was, but hopefully that does not bring out a caution, because we don't have a backup system. That the race would have to end under caution. 29 is not far from the 92. It could be the man who messes up Jones' day. Martin and Adema might be rivals, but guess what? Martin and Jones got no experience. No experience against each other. So with a 2.2 second lead, does Zachary Jones take this last mile and a third to victory lane? As Dan Wilkins is now pitting. Dan Wilkins pits with 2 to go. Zachary Jones takes the white flag. This opens the door wide open. Adema isn't here at the track right now, but I'm sure he is very proud of Zachary Jones, as he will go on to win his first career MSCCT race. In his first career start, Zachary Jones takes the checkered flag at Darlington in his own ARE replacement race. I'm sorry I botched the call there, but I was just starstruck. Zachary Jones, in his first career MSCCT start, becomes the first driver to win in their first start. That is incredible. I thought they were wrecking after the checkered flag flew. Out of the 14 cars that finished the race, it is Zachary Jones, Carlos Rex, Christian Coppola, Santiago Alvarez, Alex Pollock, JJU, Jesse Owens Jr., Nolo Hamilton, and Ronnie Martin. Those are the 9 cars on the lead lap. After that, it's Dan Wilkins 1 lap down. Then you have multiple laps down, Donald Wilkins, Kyle Driscoll, Creed Daniel, and Charlotte Kelly. So only 14 cars finished from Darlington, but Zachary Jones gets the win in his first career start. Thank you for getting here for the throwback event at Darlington. Oh my goodness, it's been a heck of a ride. We'll see all of you next time at South Boston Speedway for the running of the CarMax 600.